This is our world. Usually, it's nice to express our emotions. We were forced to bring a legal action against the government.
Know that he's guilty.
Nicolas Cage was here. He wanted me to represent him for the murdering of his wife. That created a negativity, but a reputation for our country. Somebody needs to represent these rights of people. Trying to fix them, they're trying to cover, pick up those that they are not good and kick them out of the system. They are really ready to jump on them. There are some people who are crooks and they do fraud. Let's focus on them. An issue with my kidneys affected me in a good way. I will wake up and not see this child next to me because I could see that with a strong belief, everything was reversing for the best as I thought.
What is your advice to people?
Appreciate the day we live. To be in a good position, it means you are doing something good. You should always blame yourself and nobody else.
Hello, Yiannos. Thank you so much for being with us today. How you feel? How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm happy to have the opportunity to speak with you. "30 years ago, I started my law firm in a small office in Little Street. I'm very happy and proud about our rapid expansion since then. From the very beginning of my career, I was passionate about solving problems and winning for my clients. Today, Georgiades & Associates is a full-service legal office with operations in several countries. The clientele of the office and the quality of our work has grown tremendously.
So the first question, which is very interesting for me, how hard is to control your emotions if you don't like your client, but you have to defend him on the court?
Okay, usually it's nice to express our emotions. But when it comes to work, I think we need to learn to handle our emotions, not to suppress them. We need to handle them. But when it comes to choosing my clients, I don't really go with emotions, usually. I prefer to see whether the case is good, whether it's an important case, and there is something that I can offer, I can help my client. I also make sure that I can feel that my client trusts me. Otherwise, it's difficult for me to perform if I feel that my client doesn't trust me. So this is a criteria, and of course, whether he's in a position to pay our fees.
Yes, of course, that's very important.
Yes, this is the main criteria. But of course, later on, when we start the case, it's not nice to work with a person that is difficult and is not collaborating, and it doesn't. It creates toxicity. So it happens sometimes that if I don't like my client, I have to withdraw from the case because I cannot really help him. If I don't feel comfortable with him, I cannot help him. And of course, sometimes emotions are important when we choose to help people when they cannot pay their fees. and if I can see that somebody will need my services for something that is important for them, sometimes I can choose to do pro bono, and then I'm driven by emotions in that case.
And just came in my mind, let's say you like your client very much, but you know that he's guilty. Like maybe they don't know, but you know that he's guilty. Can you protect him?
This is a very standard question they always ask lawyers.
Yes.
I was asked this question a lot of times. It's actually an interesting question. Although I don't do a lot of criminal, at the end of the day, when everybody has the right to be represented, whether it's guilty or not guilty. And in criminal cases, is the prosecution that needs to prove the case. So as long as you represent your client and know that he's guilty, you have an ethical duty not to mislead the court, but you should allow the prosecution to prove their case. So if they can prove their case, they can prove it. If not, then it's nothing to do with you.
Yes.
So yes, sometimes lawyers, when they know that the client is guilty, they do represent them because everybody has the right of representation.
Yes. But there is a case that from the beginning you will say no, when you will find out what he did. And yes, he's guilty.
It happened a lot of years ago when one person killed his wife in Cyprus. And although it was an important case for me as a young lawyer to do murder, it was going to be exciting and good for a young lawyer to have such a case, especially in Cyprus because we don't have so much crime. But it happened that I represented him for another case before, and I met his wife, and she was so nice with him and supporting him so much that when I heard that he wanted me to represent him for the murdering of his wife, I was not so keen of doing that. It doesn't mean that he was guilty, because not everybody is innocent until it's proven guilty.
Yes.
But emotionally, at that time, I was influenced because I knew so much his wife, and I would be prejudiced, and I wouldn't be in a position to properly represent him. So I said no, although he insisted for me to represent him. And instead I refer him to another lawyer.
But there is, except the one that you know him, but the case from the beginning when you hear and you will say, no, it's like against your principles.
Yes, also it makes a difference. If it's something against your principles, then, for example, me, I find it difficult to represent anybody that is selling drugs, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm so against drugs that I will be not feeling comfortable to do that unless I know that he's absolutely innocent. Yes. But if I feel that this person is into this business and I have that feeling,
Mm-hmm.
I will never be in a position to represent such a person. And of course, I decided anyway not to be involved in criminal cases. I'm mostly dealing with corporate, commercial, intellectual property, emerging trends. So I'm more concentrating on the corporate, commercial side of law rather than the criminal side of law.
Did you ever had cases against the government?
Yes, I did have the cases against the government, and I do have cases against the government.
Now you have
Yes, I have a few cases against the government. One of them is a very important case because it has to do with the film industry. Mm-hmm. And it's about the film Jiu-Jitsu done by Dimitris Logotheris, a Hollywood film director and producer. with Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
And it was one of the first films ever came to Cyprus from
Which
Hollywood.
is very important
Yes.
for Cyprus.
Yes, because Cyprus made an investment scheme like they have in other countries in order to attract investment in our country, which was a good idea. And we have a very good scheme. But it was the first time they had to deal with such a big budget. It was over 24 million, I think, the film. And it did take place. It was complete with a lot of difficulties. And it was nice for a country because an A-list actor like Nicolas Cage was here.
Of course.
So this is the purpose of the films, is to create marketing awareness and attract tourism. The economy is moving. The infrastructure of the film industry is becoming better.
Which is very important for Cyprus. Yes.
So a lot of benefits. But unfortunately, this time, I don't know what was the real reason behind that, but it went a bit wrong because they ended up not giving the cash rebate they promised to the producers.
Oh.
And that created a negativity instead of positivity. And we were forced to bring a legal action against the government and claim remedies in favor of the producers of jiu-jitsu. It's unfortunate this, but yes, we didn't hesitate to go against the government for this. And I believe that it shouldn't end up in litigation, this case. It could be settled because it's going beyond just the rights of these producers. It's actually relating to the best interest of Cyprus to create a credibility and reputation.
Yes.
And they should be very careful the way they dealt with this. Because we should be happy and grateful that one film director or producer from Hollywood trusted us. And not only trusted
can
us,
open many other doors in
exactly,
future for movie industry. Here in Korea, they give like government 70% only for filming, and the movies now, it's very important, and it's good to create good image.
For sure. So I believe that at the end of the day, at some point, we will reach to a settlement. I think that's the best way for Cyprus, but it's nothing to do with, it's beyond my control. It is two to tango, as they say. Myself, I'm always ready to go against the government if the rights of my clients are infringed. But at the same time, in cases of this nature, Cypriot, I think is good for to avoid such litigation, which gives an international bad reputation for our country.
And I remember you were also against the government in 2020 with pandemic and COVID. What was the case that time?
Well, at that time, I believe that with the pandemic, there's a lot of mystery behind the pandemic, by the way. But when it comes to the rights of people, somebody needs to represent these rights of people.
Yes.
Without fear and without following the crowd. I strongly believe that that at time of the pandemic, not only in Cyprus but also other countries, for some reason that we will probably find out
maybe
some years later on, they ignore the standard human rights, the rules that we learn as lawyers in school, the right of freedom of expression, the right of privacy, and a lot of other human rights. They ignore them completely, and in their effort to tackle the pandemic, which I don't disagree of the government to try to take measures where there is a crisis, but we need to be careful not to be disproportionate. We don't need to overreact, and we don't need to be ready by way of panic to infringe the important human rights of people.
We speak a lot about law, about government. What else you like to do except this, what you already have? There is other, maybe business or hobbies that you love to do?
Yes, of course, I like to have a nice social life, which I
Yes, this
enjoy
I
that.
know.
And I'm a member in different clubs like Rotary Club. Definitely, a lot of people from other countries, especially our neighboring countries, due to the various problems we all know that they're happening around us now, they might consider it necessary to come to our country to resolve their disputes. And in this way, Cyprus will become known as an international center of arbitration.
In the area of human rights, our office has worked with several NGOs. Yiannos Georgiades is the consultant on human rights to the Archbishop of Zimbabwe, of the Patriarchate of Alexandria, and the whole of Africa. He is a consultant and member of the board of several NGOs.
Law and Business, Global Law and Business Organization.
I'm giving the emblematic chain of the president of Rotary to our president of Rotary Nicosia, Yiannos Georgiades.
And different NGOs. For example, the International Network of Law Firms. I was a president for 7 years in that one, which is global. And but also what I enjoy doing now is my involvement with a fund. It's called Kinesis Ventures Fund, and it's the first fund established in Cyprus that is concentrating on innovation technology.
Oh,
Basically, we're helping our ecosystem here to develop. We are getting startups and companies that they are technology orientated and help them to scale up in the US.
yes.
And I'm a co-founder in this and member of the investment committee. And it's nice to see that we can contribute to our economy in this way. My partners are Cypriots, but they're expatriates. They live in New York for over 37 years. They wanted to have their country through this, and that's why we created this back in 2017-18. It's doing very well, and we have various companies that they are progressing, and we see the progress. And at the same time, I utilize my legal skills because I'm also a legal advisor of the
Yes.
fund. Yes.
Another, like if you were in government, what things you will like to change, or maybe not to change, but to create, like as a Cypriot, how you will love to see your country? What will make you to feel proud and happy when you see your country like that?
Being in the government is not always easy, it's challenging. And I believe that country changes mostly by initiatives like we did, like the one I told you about the fund. And because you are more independent and you can contribute to your country by moving faster, and you can be more effective. So I think that, there should be an element of encouragement by the government to private sector to develop initiatives like our initiatives,
Yes.
to concentrate on development and helping innovation and technology within the country. And because in this way it gives a lot of reputation for your country, and also it helps a lot of talented people to grow. And by growing, they're creating new enterprises and companies that they're successful. So it provides work for people and prosperity. I think people in the government, since you asked me this question, and if I was in the government, I will act as a private person. I will consider the government as a company. And I will try to move fast, to avoid bureaucracy, and make quick decisions, and create and establish and maintain good relationships with people from other countries, from other governments, but also from the private sector.
Yeah.
And I would do anything that is possible to make it easy for foreign investors to come to my country. And I will make everything possible to avoid people who work in the government to create bad reputation for my country.
Yes.
We have a tendency sometimes in the government to be defensive, the people who are in the government to be defensive, instead of being more transparent and accepting the mistakes and trying to fix them, they're trying to cover them. Not because they think in that time in a bad way, but because they think they want to protect their reputation. But they do the opposite effect. It's a boomerang. Because it's good to highlight what is wrong and then trying to make people be more careful. Because when you're in the public sector, you represent your country and you don't represent yourself.
Yes.
So you should be careful as to what decisions you're making and how they harm your country. And I think this is something that the leaders and the ministers and the MPs should take seriously into consideration and not be ready to defend. You'd be ready to accept and see how they can correct. This is my idea.
Another thing which makes me sad, because I love Cyprus very much, but for example, if somebody is very good actor, or he or she want to build a career, or singers, any kind of like show business, they don't want to stay in Cyprus because they think there is no future and they just leave the country, which for me personally it's sad, because your talented generation is leaving because they don't see any future in Cyprus. What you suggest, what all of us, I don't mean only government, like all of us, we can do to change so these kids will stay here, and because they will start to believe future in Cyprus?
I think it's a matter of creating the image, the correct image. Your presence and your support is most valuable. It helps us to build solid bridges between the US and Cyprus in the field of entrepreneurship and innovation.
One of the things that I think is really important is to create networks with the United States.
I have about 12 and a half minutes to convince you to do a lot of different things. And all I want to do actually is spark an idea.
We have been collaborating with Georgiades and Associates law firm for more than 25 years. The level of professionalism of its people and the quality of its services is just superb.
Georgiades and Associates' work ethic and quality of service give me confidence that they're by my side in every situation.
Georgiades and Associates are immensely helpful and effective, and I highly commend them for their services and dedication to their clients.
We have reached this point through hard work, dedication, diligence, and care. We will carry on building on what we have created so far for an even stronger and more dynamic law firm. We will always be by the side of our clients. Somehow, sometimes we manage to give the impression on people of the wrong and get the wrong image of what is in reality. We need to appreciate that Cyprus is a beautiful country and there are a lot of potentials for everybody here. I don't agree that we don't have the correct platform for people to develop here. What sometimes we need to change is the mindset, starting from us again as people to believe that we can succeed in Cyprus. So every young person must be in a position to understand that they can succeed in Cyprus. So now the parents, the government, they have a duty to make the people and the young, especially people, to understand that there is a future in their country. And here is where we need to be careful as to what messages we give to our kids and what messages to give to the expatriates that will live abroad and they want to come back to their country, and what messages we give to other people who want to come to our country. So we need to fix the image, because there is a good image for Cyprus, but certain mistakes we do or we have done in the past have stigmatized us, and there is a lack of credibility in certain areas.
Yes.
And we need to fix that. We need to fix that. We need to fix our home.
Yeah.
Yes.
We start from each one from their home.
And I think people now and the government realizing that, to be honest. They're realizing that, and they do start initiatives like this program with the ecosystem, with innovation technology to support the young, talented people to go out in England or the US, the president, and trying to attract expatriates to come to Cyprus, because we have a lot of talented people that they could offer a lot to our country. And an example is what we did with Yiannos Ventures. Because if it wasn't the expatriates, that they had different kind of aroma, they brought the US aroma and the way of doing business in these sectors, because they had the know-how and the experience, I don't think this fund will succeed. So this is another example, the one I'm involved with, Yiannos Ventures, that it worked. And we should encourage more expatriates, Cypriot people or Greek people to come to our country, as well as other foreign people. Foreign people who are very good professionals and scientists, they should be encouraged to come to Cyprus. And indeed, the government made a lot of effort, and they did put in place different schemes that they are attractive for foreign investors, and it can work for them. Now we need to build up more the circumstances here, to have more accommodation for people who come, more offices, and more infrastructure to develop, in order for people to feel comfortable when they're here and stay, not to leave.
Yes, because many people, they love Cyprus, they are impressed with Cyprus, but when it's come to deal with the government, like for their papers, for even banks, they all complain because or they don't pay attention, or they are sending them from one door to another door, and they make their lives difficult, which in other countries they can go, and I'm talking good countries, they can open the bank accounts in one day, they can take their papers in one, they make their life easy. And the problems I hear a lot, it's that it's very slow still, this
There is a lot of improvement, to be honest with you. There's a lot of improvement. And there are different kind of procedures and bureaucracy depending on which department you go and what people are there. That causing frustration to people. But this is happening to all the countries. It's not just in Cyprus. It happens, I had experience also in other countries to face, to come
it's,
across
of course, it's not
this
only
delay.
in Cyprus.
But we need to improve, for sure. We need to improve and to be honest about it. But Cyprus, I think, is in a good position. We have digitalized a lot of departments in the system, in
Yes.
justice. There is a lot of things we need to improve, but we are getting there. We should pick up those that they are not good and kick them out of the system, but not to say that everybody is bad.
Yeah, because of few, they can damage the others who
Exactly.
are doing so many
Exactly.
good.
Exactly. This is maybe Cyprus is a small country and everybody knows each other. Sometimes we are not ready to criticize people, even though the people we know, and we are not honest.
Yes.
And try to cover them up and things like this because
it's
of
small.
small country. But generally, we are in a good position, and also we have attracted a lot of attention by a lot of people from abroad that they come to our country and they like it.
Yes.
And I hear very good things about foreign people, especially businessmen and very rich people, that they chose our country. We should not really, us being so pessimistic and think that everything is black, because there are issues that we need to cope with. We need to attack those who are doing wrong without fear, but we should praise also in an honest way those who are doing good.
Of course, it's big change in Cyprus.
And it doesn't matter, Elizabeth, whether you belong in one political party or in another political party. I think sometimes the media and the people create the wrong impression in their effort to criticize people who are not within their own political party and praise people only who are within their own political party.
Yeah.
This is wrong. We should be honest. We should be honest. We should not really be ready to condemn somebody because he's a president and he was voted by another political party. We should not condemn a minister because he was chosen by another political party. We should criticize them because of their actions and to praise them because of their actions. And to be honest, if
this
we are
is
not
the
honest,
most important. Yes. So somebody who is doing good to feel that people appreciate, and the one which is not doing his job to understand, no, you cannot stay in this position if you are not doing, because you are ruining other people's name.
Yes. And also it's a deterrent for people who are good to go into the government. So if people see that when they go to the government, they are really ready to jump on them and make them look so bad.
Yeah.
Why should they leave their business and their good life and relaxing life, especially when they're rich people and have good money and everything? Why should they spend the time to be in the government to do something and help when it will never be appreciated, and also they're running the risk to be criminalized and to be to lose their reputation? We need to be careful as to how we are dealing with things and not to be ready to jump on people. Some people are doing, they're good and but make mistakes, honest mistakes, and there are some people who are crooks and they do fraud. Let's focus on them, not focus on those who have a good faith and they take a position to do something good, and because they make one or two mistakes, we jump on them.
Yeah.
We should be more careful because
be fair.
We need to be united, first of all. We are a very small country. We need to be united always. We need to face who is the real enemy, which is the people who occupied our country. And we need to find a solution that is good for our people and not to think about us becoming better by stepping on other people. We should concentrate on how we can develop without stepping on other people.
Very wise words. What makes you a so successful lawyer?
I think this is a good question. I always think that it goes back to my childhood. I honestly believe that. It's not because of how good I was in the law school, or there are a lot of reasons, of course, but I think it goes back to my childhood because of various influences I had, positive influences. I developed, I think, very early a strong sense of what is wrong and what is right. And I had some adventures when I was really little, like 5 years old. I remember I had an issue with my kidneys. I had to be rushed to the hospital and stay away from my parents for a long time, living in a hospital, basically. And then moved to a center by the Red Cross in Karinia, again away from my parents, with the strict rules and facing different kind of circumstances where you need to fight for yourself, because there you are away from your parents, a lot of kids, older than you sometimes, trying to bully. But there I realized instead of affecting me badly, it affected me in a good way. It made me fight for myself, and I
become stronger.
And I became stronger and accepted by the group, and I felt proud about it. I dealt with it on my own. Then I was in a position to also help other people who felt vulnerable and protect them.
Yes.
And then when it was the invasion in Cyprus, I was only 9 years old, so I had to go through all these experiences suddenly, and then move to Greece for 1 year and go to school in Greece, Greece with my parents and my sister. I had to adapt in a different environment, being Cypriot, being in Greece, different accent, different hobbies, different ways of living. So I had to really adapt and again dominate in the company of the other kids and not accept any bullying or anything, and survive. Also I realized that through all these problems, I mean, when I was in the hospital, I was talking one night with one kid a few times, being next to me, and then I will wake up and not see this child next to me, and I will ask the nurses, "Where is this?" And he says, "It's in the intensive care. Something happened to him or her." And then I will say, "What happened? When is he coming back?" And then they will say to me, "He died." Oh. But instead of feeling low, I was thinking, this will never happen to me. I was always thinking, this will never happen to me. God helps me. It will never happen to me. I believe that I will overcome this, and I will be back to my home soon.
Positive mindset.
Yes, I had this. So all these are adventures I had at a young age. Instead of making me weak, it made me stronger. And also, I justifying to be positive, because I could see that with a strong belief, everything was reversing for the best as I thought.
Change, yes.
And then this momentum, it carried on all my life. And I don't want to say great words, but I feel very satisfied and very blessed of the way my life developed so far. I feel very happy and very grateful, because it seems like everything, it happens the right time, in a good way.
Yes.
No matter how many problems I go through, or adventures, or ups and downs. At the end of the day, everything is beautiful. There's nothing really I need to worry about, and I'm very happy about this, having this feeling. It gives me a lot of happiness.
Yes, and with this positive mindset, because of our days, you see what's happening in the world. What is your advice to people in this situation? What is your prediction from what they have to be careful about, what to take care, how to react in these difficult times?
Again, I would say that everything starts within ourselves. There is a saying that if you can control something, you don't worry. If you cannot control, you don't worry. I think it's true. we should be in a position to appreciate the day we live, day we wake up, and then to make sure that we live nicely in that day.
Yeah.
Because the past has gone, yesterday has gone, and tomorrow will still come tomorrow. So we need to focus today. I don't say that we should not visualize, because I don't want to be taken wrong, because I always visualize. We need to visualize ourselves as how we develop and live the thing we want to be, but we should live for that day and make the maximum we can to be happy in that day. I know that there are a lot of things happening in the world, but the world is evolving in this way for so many centuries. It's not a new thing. It's something we must understand. And we should compare with how it was 100 years ago and what we have now.
So to see the good, always the good
We should look
part.
at the good things and not focus on the bad things. We should be in a position when we can help people in need and empathize with people, the suffering, when it's a war and the people are killed is not nice, but I strongly believe that everything happens for a purpose, because this is our world. This is our world. It was always like this. It's not something new.
Yeah.
And then everything happens for a purpose, and these bad things happen in life. They make us more wise. They make us see where we go wrong, and we should always think that the most important thing in life is to have love. Because if you have a real love, you can overcome everything. You must love. You must not ready to complain always. You must appreciate the people that are near you. You focus on your family and your kids and your friends around you, trying to look within your soul, and then be connected spiritually with God and have faith. Otherwise, we cannot be in harmony. If we go away from this, we're not in harmony. And we always worry, we have fears, we panic. These are not triggered by what is happening around us. It's coming within ourselves. Because you should be in a position, in my opinion, to stand even if everything collapses around you.
Yes.
You should be in that position. And I remember a lot of years back, when I went to Kenya, I was invited by a very good friend of mine who was the Archbishop at that time. He belonged to the Patriarchate of Alexandria in whole Africa. He's Cypriot. And I was invited by him, and it was also another philanthropic person, Mr. Batihis, who died now, passed away. He's well known in Limassol, Batihio, and all this, they got it from his name.
Yes.
And he wanted to offer charity there. So we went there, and we were going to different tribes, Kikuyu, Maasai, and other tribes that are Christian Orthodox, baptized there. And my friend is doing a very good job, excellent job. He's still there. He was in Kenya, then he went to South Africa, now he's in Zimbabwe. And one time we went to a church that was expected, and so it was full of a lot of African people who are Christian Orthodox. That church was full. It was basic church, not the luxurious church. And but it was full. And he made a speech, and I was there sitting casually listening, and suddenly I hear him saying that and now our friend Yiannos Georgiades, a consultant of the Archbishopric, and will like to say a few words. I was not prepared.
Yes.
I didn't know what to say. And within seconds, I had to get up because I couldn't sit down.
Yes.
Wait, to go to the microphone. So I go there, and the first thing I see is in front of me, all these people looking at me and smiling.
Yeah.
Smiling. Despite their poverty, despite their circumstances, they were there so happy. So it inspired me to start my speech to them from the heart and say, I'm so happy to be here and see all these smiles.
And you make them more to smile.
Yes. And then I praise them for despite their problems, they are still happy and enjoy themselves with the minimum they have there.
Yeah.
So it shows you that it's not how much money you have, it's not how many problems you have, it's how you yourself perceive the world and your life. And some people will say it's easy to say this when you are in a good position.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but to be in a good position, it means you are doing something good.
Absolutely.
It means
yes.
you have the right attitude. It means that you discover that what matters is yourself. You should always blame yourself and nobody else. This is my principle. And my advice to people is not to be discouraged by whatever is happening around them, to always believe into themselves and to try to see the good things every day they wake up and not focus on the bad things.
Thank you, Yiannos, so much. It was very wise words, and thank you for spending your time with us and sharing your incredible story and your vision.
Thank you. It was nice to be here, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to enter to different subjects. "30 years ago, I started my law firm in a small office in Little Street. I'm very happy and proud about our rapid expansion since then. From the very beginning of my career, I was passionate about solving problems and winning for my clients. Today, Georgiades & Associates is a full-service legal office with operations in several countries. The clientele of the office and the quality of our work has grown tremendously.